We are moving on with World Noir Volume 3, set with number 101 in the Radiance range, which is The Lost One, directed by and starring Peter Lorre. The only film that he ever directed, and, well, if we're going to do one and be done, this is a really strong one to do, because it starts off with a doctor, Dr. Roth, who's now calling himself Dr. Newmeyer, is administering some inoculations when all of a sudden someone from his past turns up. Someone that knows him more than he wishes anybody did. This is a character who has fallen into the cracks of society. He's trying to hide out. He's trying to get away from something that's in his past. And this character turning back up has brought it all to the forefront.
Komisch. Sie haben Angst.
Gott, wissen Sie, eher so eine Art vorsichtige Angewohnheit von mir.
And you can tell that there is something between these characters, something that bonds them together, something that's not particularly nice. And as the film continues on, we get to see these two men go for a meal, sit down, talk about what happened, and in that case we get flashbacks to the events that were going on, and it puts up this wonderfully layered story that I don't want to spoil too much of. What I'll say is we have a German scientist during World War II who is told by an aide and someone higher up that his partner has been selling all of his data to the Allied forces. And in a fit of rage, he kills her. And the Nazi authorities help conceal it. They cover it up. They get him on the side. They start to manipulate him into doing what they want to make sure that his information comes directly to them. They manipulate and cajole this character.
Sind Sie, von wem reden Sie?
Na, von Fräulein Hermann. Sie wissen doch, dass der Vater der Hermann in Stockholm lebt.
Ja, weiß ich.
Naja, und über Stockholm ist der ganze Kram nach London geschleust worden.
It's the kind of death of this man. He becomes lesser because of this event. He's gotten away with murder. In fact, the state has facilitated his escape from it. And it's just watching this character deal with guilt, deal with the silence of that, dealing with trauma, and feeling this impulse to maybe do this again. You know, he gets away with it one without any repercussions. Could you do it again and the same effect happen?
Jedenfalls damals wusste ich absolut nichts. Glauben Sie mir.
Na klar, klar. War momentan nicht ganz gegenwärtig.
This is a chilling reflection of post-war Germany. Its unwillingness to face up to its atrocities represents within Roth's internal legacy of denial and rationalisation about what he did. Even as he's talking to us or talking to himself, he is rationalising what was going on. It was at this time. The nation was strained. Things were going on. It's always trying to build a narrative of excuses as to why he has been doing what he has been doing. It's a wonderful turn and a great idea for the character. One of the things I really loved about this was the visual style of the film. It recalls expressionist horror and American noir. It kind of mixes these together, creating a wonderful canvas for Lorre to really show out his skills in both directing and in starring as well.
Die hat mir hinterlassen, ohne Abschied. Aber seine letzten Worte, die habe ich genau im Gedächtnis behalten. Sagte, für Hirsch.
Lorre delivers an acting tour de force here. He is meticulous and devastating. His haunted glare, his twitches, the kind of things that made him prominent in M are built on here with an air of personal agency and remorse. It is not acting, it's an almost confessional, which I think is just absolutely marvellous. And that's, before we get to the directing of this film, which I think is incredibly well done. It was a commercial failure when it first came out, primarily because of the subject matter and the fresh scars on the nation after the events of World War II. But it's one of the few films at the time to directly address what had happened and how the nation was feeling at the time, addressing the guilt and dealing with accountability in a way.
Ich habe vielleicht auch geglaubt, dass alles Vergangene begraben sei in den Trümmern der Magdalenenstraße. Bis sie dann heute Nachmittag hier aufgetaucht sind.
I think it's fantastic the way this one is very sad. You know, you see a character who is not living his life. He's merely just going through it. There is things that has happened that he really can't deal with, and that's something that just haunts this character. And I think it's through in Lorre's performance, and I think it's through the direction, allowing the performance to the time to breathe. This is a film that's been critically re-evaluated after the time as one of the most important films to come out of post-war Germany, and you can see why. It is terrific in all the fronts, and it's just a shame that Lorre didn't direct anything else. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for The Lost One. Let's go to the special features. First up, we have a commentary by Tony Raines. Next, we have Pamela Hutchinson. Critic and writer Pamela Hutchinson examines The Lost One and provides an overview of the legendary career of the writer-director Peter Lorre, recorded exclusively for Radiance in March 2025, and runs for 23 minutes 41 seconds. This gives us a wonderful look at Lorre, looking at how he initially came to the forefront, what really sparked an interest within filmmakers for him, how he moved to America and his career there and his relationships. Terrifically well done. Next, we have Margaret Deriaz. German cinema expert Margaret Deriaz examines the history of German noir, how it evolved from Weimar cinema, and how this would influence the production and legacy of The Lost One, recorded exclusively for Radiance in March 2025. This runs for 18 minutes 44 seconds and is really good in giving an overarching idea of people who were prominent in Germany, who moved into Hollywood and really left their mark. And finally, the trailer. That's the extras for The Lost One. Here we have it, second film in this set, and it's another winner. Just if we've got one more to go, and the next one is the one that I was most excited about from this set. But so far, 2 down, 2 great films, and I would love to know your thoughts on this film, The Lost One. Let me know in the comment box below whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff in the description box. A link to Patreon, membership program, and mandyfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.